Hey guys, welcome to the Pixel Street Podcast. This is episode 176. We have not been sitting here for 50 minutes trying to get things going. This is all just swift and beautiful. Everything's working fine. Don't watch the YouTube video for this episode. Just listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you normally listen to us. Just
But
don't.
if they don't watch the video, they can't see my butt. My butt's, it's in this
And that is
episode.
planned for the end of the episode. Better stick around.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, now I got to Photoshop Chad's butt into the thing. All right.
Make a thumbnail while you're at it.
Yeah, Joel is out this week, seeing some family and stuff, so I was like, you know what, it's time. I gotta get an all-star crew in here, so in the northeast corner of the video version of this podcast, you can see one of our very first Pixel Street pals and the host of Respawning Fire from Affable Idiots. We have Chad Mike Innis. What's up, Chad?
Oh, wait, no, I should
I
cheer.
wasn't sure if that was going to be me or not, and I waved, and I was very... Hey, what's up?
Hey. And then also in the bottom left corner on the video podcast, we have I didn't think of anything before this because I'm bad at my job.
Freshly showered.
We got the freshly showered, beautiful facial hair loving Tucker Hazell from Backlog Banter. What's up, Tucker?
Thank you. Everyone knows me for my love for facial hair. That's
Yeah,
my
look
classic
at that.
personality
Look
trait,
at
I
that
guess.
mustache. Look at that
He has
mustache.
collections of facial hair.
It's
just on
just
his-
like little
on
his wall.
patches.
Yeah, that's why I don't turn my camera that way.
Yeah. All right. Well, this week we're talking about some video games, boys. We are talking about Sony acquiring Bungie. We're going to get into a discussion about Pokemon Legends Arceus that came out last Friday, so we're just going to discuss kind of what our thoughts on the game so far and everything. And then the Dying Light 2 Stay Human embargo's up. I'll give a little chat about that, but that won't go too long. So let's start with Sony acquiring Bungie. First off, this came out of nowhere on Monday, I believe it was.
Yes.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, Sony acquiring Bungie, but it's a bit of a weird situation because while Bungie is now a Sony property, they are technically under the PlayStation Studios family. They're remaining an independent and multi-platform developer and publisher. So this means Destiny, and I think it's Matter, the next game that they're working on. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Is it the code name? I haven't heard that, but
Yeah.
sure. Why not?
All future games they make are being paid for by Bungie. They're making them for multi-platforms and everything. It's not going to be a PlayStation only thing, which is such a weird thing. In his blog on the PlayStation website, Jim Ryan says, Bungie's world-class expertise in multi-platform development and live game services will help us deliver on our vision of expanding PlayStation to hundreds of millions of gamers. Bungie is a great innovator and has developed incredible proprietary tools that will help PlayStation Studios achieve new heights under Herman Hulst's leadership. Herman Hulst is the CEO of Bungie. Some other notes here. Sony are planning to launch 10 live service games by 2026. Here in a little bit, we'll take some predictions at what kind of games we'll see there. But I want to turn this towards Chad first because I know you play a lot of Destiny with Joel.
Yeah, I don't want to brag, but like our crew is now doing like 2 raids a week.
Oh man.
What is that, like
Big
30 minutes of
deals.
content?
That's if we're good enough.
Yeah.
Sure. You're fine.
It's when I first heard this news on Monday morning. First of all, our podcast we record on Sunday nights, and the last like 2 weeks, it's been Monday dropped this, and then the week before that it was like Tuesday morning they dropped the Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard. I was like, we need to fucking change our schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this news and I thought, shit, we just recorded, and then I thought, well, this is weird. And the more I looked into it, I was like, they're allowing them to self-publish. They're allowing them to go multi-platform on everything. It's like, why even acquire them at all?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be some kind of like revenue sharing, I guess, built in. But I guess even if they're published, then they don't necessarily get that publisher cut from it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, maybe it's just Sony has a lot of money and they just want to give it to people and not
Sure.
take it in return. It's like
Generous,
probably not.
kind-hearted Sony. Multi-billion-dollar corporation, with a golden heart. That's what everyone calls them.
Yep. And then I started thinking that, you know what? It probably has to do with whatever the Spartacus service is coming up.
Maybe.
And my thought behind it is that just like when you sign up for Xbox Game Pass, you have like a bunch of AAA titles ready to go. They kind of want, but you can also play them on PC, or even in some cases play them elsewhere on other consoles. I feel like that's what Destiny's going to be. It's a huge game with a large audience, and they want you to associate that with Sony.
Sure.
And when you get a PlayStation and you sign up for PS Plus or Plus Plus or whatever it might be after that, I feel like that's going to come with Destiny and all future content for free, like built into it. And
Sure.
I feel like that's good for not only Sony to have that as part of their catalog, and they can say, hey, you can pay $60 a year for PS Plus Plus, or you can pay $60 for a year's worth of content on Xbox, and that's all you get. So I feel like that's kind of maybe where this is going. But from Bungie's standpoint, I feel like that would be really beneficial for them because developers, like, they're always developing for the most recent content and the newest stuff, and that's what they really want people to be playing. And there's a paywall to it, obviously, to fund their development costs. So I feel like that would also be really great for them because not only do they have such a large player base now, but they can ensure a huge chunk of it that exists on PlayStation is always going to be playing the newest stuff. That way they can, like, we don't have to worry about going and troubleshooting and developing content that also pleases this tiny little subsection of free-to-play fans that can't afford, the yearly expansions or the season passes. But now if they have a lively player base of all of this supported content, I feel like that's really good for them as well. So that's where I've settled so far with this. A few days later, it's like that's maybe what this is all building up to. But aside from that, it's still a really strange acquisition. Apparently, has been in the works for like 6 months, so it wasn't a knee-jerk reaction to Xbox's acquisition.
Yeah, there is no way that they could get that deal done within a week. That'd be insane. Yeah, going off what you said there at the end, that this is just a really weird deal. I can't. This just really pushes more to me that Sony might be kind of going away from their exclusive. Like, they've been so hardballed on their exclusives. That's been like their big thing the last generation or so. And now you've got the games coming to PC, which is a perfect move. It should be day and date, but it's not. But I'm sure
it's not going to be probably for a while.
Someday I
End of the
think we'll get
PS5
there.
generation, PS6 launch titles, maybe day and date release.
I think at some point we'll get there, but now they're going in on the Spartacus thing because they see how huge Game Pass is becoming, and they have to have something to combat that. This tells me that Destiny isn't coming back to Game Pass. They just took it down in November or so. They had all the expansions and everything. That's not happening again. But the fact that players will still be able to access it, because at the end of the day, it's a free-to-play game now. You just have to buy the expansions. I mean, who really cares? If you're just playing Destiny to try it out, you can still try it for free, but if you're wanting to get serious into it, you'll have to buy the expansions on other platforms. That's just the way it is. This just makes
The thing is, like, they'll know, even if you get it free on PlayStation, like, they know, I have this new expansion, and I get this brand new exotic weapon, and also there's a weapon skin for it in the store for just $5.
Yeah,
You do that,
exactly.
like,
You're in the
3 times
ecosystem.
in a season. Yeah, there's that whole ecosystem that's going to bring up a ton of money. And it fills a gap. Like, Sony's known for a long time that they have a gap when it comes to online multiplayer games. And this is finally something to kind of, like, to be their big AAA online multiplayer game for.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I would say sorry, Tucker. I would say that the online multiplayer space is really where they struggle the most right now, because you have these awful games like Destruction All Stars.
Wow.
And I will not hear any argument on it. That is a bad game. It is not fun. But, like, even Nintendo, as much shit as we give them over the years for having a poor internet service, they have Smash, they have Mario Kart, they have Splatoon. Sony just doesn't have that right now. Bungie giving them that technology so that they can work this into, let's say, the Last of Us multiplayer thing. Factions, I think it's called.
Last of Us Factions. Presumably 2.
Yeah.
With that naming convention.
The new Twisted Metal, whenever that comes out. Like, this is a huge get for Sony, and it's a lot of money on Bungie's end. Tucker, what did you think about all this when you heard about it?
Yeah, so it's really interesting to hear Chad's thoughts about this as a Destiny player, as someone invested in that ecosystem, and being able to talk about it from a player content point of view and an expansion point of view. And these are things that I cannot relate to because I have never once in my life played Destiny or any game like it. That is not a format of game length and repetition that personally appeals to me, because I'm the kind of check it off my box and shelve it and never think about it again kind of gamer. I like knocking off single player games. So I don't really have anything to add from that perspective. However, knowing how the direction of the industry is trending, with Microsoft especially reaching out their tendrils into multiple different avenues, publishing games on PlayStation, on Switch, having Game Pass and xCloud available on PC and mobile, and they're trying to get everywhere. That's the direction the industry is trending, is more of a blanket covering and grabbing as many pieces of gamers as you can. And Sony, obviously, as you said, has a lack in that they are very focused on what they do great. And Herman Hulst mentioned that. He's like, you know us, we're Sony, we're PlayStation. We make narrative-focused, adventure, AAA polished games. And that's true, and that's great. I love all those games. But the fact that they now have a separate team with a totally antithetical, but in a good way, type of experience of running a game online for a long time. Destiny 2 has been going on forever, and presumably the new expansion, Witch Queen, is going to be big for them as well. And having that ability to have different expertise on the back end is what this deal really rings for me, is trading of experience, of Sony being the money one with the history and experience in other areas and publishing films and technology and all that, which obviously Bungie never was involved in, of course, because they're just game developers. So if Bungie wants to, which you didn't talk about in the rating, but expand into other kinds of media, Destiny movies, Destiny TV shows, okay, Sony can help them with that. They can build connections. They have Sony Studios, or the film studios. They make movies. They have relationships to build TV shows like The Last of Us. They can help Bungie get there. And okay, Sony wants to start making more live service games, as we'll get to. Bungie knows exactly what to do there. So I think there's an interesting synergy here that will end up beneficial on both sides, but is really different from what we're used to from every other kind of acquisition. If you think back to, let's say, 5 days ago, and say, hey, Sony is buying Bungie, total hypothetical. Your first thought is, Destiny becomes PlayStation exclusive. Of course. Why would they allow it anywhere else? This is how Sony works. They're about their exclusives. But that's totally not the case now, and that's really fascinating, because it's so antithetical to what we always think of an acquisition of a PlayStation studio. It's really interesting, but I think it's a good kind of interesting, and it's one that doesn't gate that amazing large Destiny community from like knocking off half their player base.
Yeah.
I totally had forgotten you brought up the fact of like Bungie expanding Destiny in a bunch of different ways and stuff like that, and I
Multimedia.
forgot that in September they hired someone specifically to like build these relationships with different types of studios, not game studios, but like film studios and television studios, in order to do just that, and comics and that kind of stuff. And I wonder if that was, that's a little less than 6 months ago now. I wonder if that was a lot of this relationship saying, hey, y'all are just ramping up PlayStation productions, and it would be a lot easier if we didn't have to build these relationships ourselves and we could just do this all in-house. Like, yeah, that's a huge get for Bungie in order to rely on PlayStation productions.
Yeah, no, but I didn't know about that they were already trying to get into those kind of areas. That makes total sense. It would make total sense for them not to go to Microsoft, who had owned them before and been like, hey, we want to make a Quantum Break like television show.
Well, that's just called Quantum Break.
Yeah.
That was kind of the point of that game.
No, but I meant with like Destiny. It's a perfect pairing for them for what they're trying to do going forward. It's also going to be really interesting what comes out of their future IPs with all this, because Destiny is their big thing. That's what they've been known for the last 8 years, I believe, something like that. So, it's a really cool move on both sides, honestly. I don't think the casual every day-to-day Destiny player will notice much from this. I don't think any will. I think just going forward, it's if you're into the hardcore stuff, that that lore and everything where you get like the comic books and your movies, your series and everything. Let's say 5 years from now, you might start seeing something out of that. So really cool for
How
Destiny
wild
fans.
is it that like it wasn't too long ago that Bungie was under Activision, and
Mhm.
Activision now is like there could have been an alternate future where Bungie just got reabsorbed back into Microsoft via that acquisition.
Oh yeah.
Fascinating idea, yeah. And now the craziest thing is that Microsoft owns the Crash team, and PlayStation owns the original Halo team. This is an alternate twisted future that we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halo Combat Evolved's coming to PlayStation 5 this winter.
Yeah. The fat
On
chat
Xbox
on.
Game
No.
Pass on PlayStation.
No.
Ooh, there you go. There
Okay,
you go.
we better set it straight because someone might listen to this and think we actually think that no, Halo is not owned by Bungie. It is wholly owned by Microsoft. It cannot go to PlayStation or anything unless Microsoft allow it.
I like
It's not happening.
this is a little off topic, but I think part of Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard was to help strong arm Sony into putting Game Pass on there. Like, hey, you guys, you love Call of Duty. Your audience
Yeah.
loves Call of Duty, and we'd love to give it to you as part of Xbox Game Pass on your console.
No.
I feel like that's a little bit about what that acquisition was about.
It could be. It also could just be, hey, this company that makes these huge money makers, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush Saga, Call of Duty, their stock is dropping. We can acquire them and make a ton of money out of this. So
Buy low, sell high.
yeah, absolutely.
I learned that out of the GameStop stock last
Yep.
year.
I did the opposite during GameStop.
Right.
Money. It wasn't good.
All right, so yeah, we kind of have a good idea of what Destiny is going to look like going forward out of this.
It's gonna look
we
like
said,
Destiny.
It's going to look exactly like Destiny. As for these 10 live service games that we're going to see, is there anything you guys can think of that you really want to see? Something that you're like, yeah, this isn't just a multiplayer game that will last for a year. I want this to last for years on PlayStation 5. Chad, start with you if you have anything.
I think, like, quite frankly, Twisted Metal is a good candidate for this. Like, can you imagine if every couple of months we got a new combatant, and you're in there, and Sweet Tooth's baby, little Sweet Tooth Junior, and he's
Son of
spitting ice
Sweet
cream out of
Tooth.
his pacifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Like, you get something new like that to excite you, and some new challenges, new maps, stuff like
Pink
all of
Gold
that.
Sweet
That
Tooth?
could be really cool.
Oh no. Nintendo's gonna be mad about that.
Oh god. Yeah, it's interesting that this news comes obviously hot on the heels of, hey, we've acquired a studio that knows what they're doing with live service games. And obviously that's the intention, what we were talking about earlier. But what this is really peculiar to me is, the interesting thing about multiplayer games in the modern games industry is they're basically all live service games to some extent. And when they say we're doing 10 live service games, to me that doesn't mean we're doing 10 Destinies. We're not doing 10 Fortnites. They're not all going to be on that scale with constant releases and free to play and going for 5 years. For me, live service in the context of a Sony published and developed video game means a multiplayer game of any scope and scale with some consistent post-launch support, with events, with DLC skins, with extra characters or maps or whatever, but
Probably
not
a season pass.
exactly, not a huge thing. So I see some multiplayer modes here in some games. I see a couple smaller titles, an Astro Kart or something like that. Like, I think this is not 10 of what we think of live service big games, but it's all sorts of different tendrils that reach on different levels, which is exciting because, as you said, check my watch for last generation PS4, almost no first party multiplayer games. So this is a very interesting direction for them to take.
Yeah. I think since you have Twisted Metal and you have Last of Us 2 factions coming out, those are the two main ones that I really think of. Looking at the rest of their catalog, they could probably put out another Little Big Planet, but I don't know.
Sure.
Would is it Media
They
Molecule?
Media Molecule.
Yeah, they've got Dreams, and that's still going, isn't it? I don't keep
Yeah.
up on Dreams at all. So I
mean,
guess
that's also something that could count as one of the 10 if
It
Dreams
could.
gets some sort of refresh and is maybe included, obviously, more than likely on Spartacus, and they give it a big push and they start adding more updates and things. That could count as a live service game.
Yeah, Man, I just hope that Twisted Metal game is good. That's all I want. It's really all I've been wanting for a long time. Yeah, it's just Sony has been so focused on their single player narrative games for so long. It's kind of hard to think about what games they could throw in there that would be multiplayer. There was rumors a long time ago of a Crash Bandicoot Wumpa League game, which was supposed to be multiplayer focused. Obviously, that's Activision owned and everything, but there could have been a deal made beforehand that would have been
Sure.
like, this is a PlayStation exclusive for a year or whatever, like they like to do. Maybe they could work in some kind of deal with Square Enix as well to get a Final Fantasy multiplayer game in. What's their fighting game? Dissidia? Something like that.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
Tried playing that several times.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways they could go with these live service games. I'm just excited to finally see them branch out, because my biggest thing with them, I love God of War. Last of Us 2, people love it and hate it. I'm in the middle on it. It's fine. I want something more to it, though. I want a Twisted Metal game that I can continuously come back to and play and enjoy, whether that has a battle royale mechanic in it, or if it's just a classic Twisted Metal game where I'm running through the story and destroying people in a giant open field. I'm fine with that. It's just, we haven't had that kind of game on PlayStation for so long. Like, I can't even think of the From PlayStation, sorry.
Yeah.
I can't think of the last PlayStation-made multiplayer game that was like, that was the focus. Like,
Yeah.
PlayStation All-Stars on the PS3?
And obviously that didn't go too well.
Yeah.
Them, but you see what you're saying? Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
I honestly wanted to just be like a bunch of new shit. Like
That would be nice.
I hope a good portion of these are new IPs.
We know it's
because
not Days
that's also
Gone.
something True. Yes. But I also think it's interesting to future project maybe so it was what? It was 10 live service games over the course of the next
4 years.
5 years?
4 years. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So that's a lot of games per year. And I would say hopefully, one of those a year or maybe 3 every 2 years are new IP, which is very exciting to add on top of the stable of, large scale IPs that they have, and that creates new franchises for them and establishes a fan base of multiplayer games within the Sony ecosystem, and that's all really exciting. I just hope that there's new ideas here. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just spins on old franchises, of course that's interesting, but add new characters to this roster. I love when they make new IP.
I really want a new Astro Boy. Or Astrobot, not Astro Boy. Sony's acquiring Astro Boy.
Holy shit.
Give me an Astrobot game that's multiplayer. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on here. Let's talk Pokemon Legends Arceus. So, yeah, if you have been sitting under a rock for a long time... Oh my god, it's the cookies and cream switch!
Delicious, covered in juice.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus released. If you have paid attention to the Pixel Street Videos YouTube channel, you'll know that a few weeks ago I put a video saying might be a little... I think a lot of people have kind of outgrown Pokemon. We've gotten 25 years now. The formula hadn't really changed up much. It really felt to me like the Pokemon Company were cutting a lot of corners with the games they were making. Pokemon Legends Arceus, though. Chad, I know you have been playing a ton of it over the weekend. Tucker, you've been playing quite a bit, though, as well, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just a tiny bit behind you guys, but I'm still, I've played like 25 hours of the game in the last 4 days, so that's got to count for something.
I had a very writing-focused weekend. I put up 40 guide articles on Pokemon Legends Arceus this weekend, so there was a lot of it.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
Yeah, it was a long weekend. But Chad, just give me your first thoughts on Pokemon Legends. We're not going into spoilers or anything, just your overall enjoyment with the game, or lack thereof, if there is any.
It's the best Pokemon game that's ever been made. It is the definitive one. It is the one that everything should be modeled on going forward. It is... Well, I'm addicted to it. I played 30 hours. I've not done things I should have done for work while I played it instead. It's It's great, and I beat the game, and I'm still like This is the first time I've ever cared about since I was like 8. This is the first time I've ever cared about completing the Pokédex, and it's not because like, oh, there's gonna be something at the end. It's just like I really want to go fucking find every single one of these little critters, and I just want to get them and research all their shit. Before it was like I only ever completed the Pokédex because there was that shitty rumor that everyone told on the playground that, oh, if you get 150 Pokemon, Mew shows up. And you're like, no, you never get it.
Huh, you gotta push the truck.
So, no, you don't push the truck. You don't push the truck. It doesn't happen. There is a glitch, though, in the original Yellow and Red. Yes. You can do it. So.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's fantastic. It's incredible. It looks like straight up garbage, and the open world is bare bones, minimum, awful, and lots of things that I could say about that. But the experience and the mechanics of this game are so enthralling, and I want everything. I want all the future games to be just like this.
All right, some strong praise there. Tucker, what are your thoughts on it?
I come down in a quite similar vein. Unlike, I think, John, you're saying, Pokemon sort of waning for you. I had felt that slightly with like Sword and Shield a little bit, and a little bit with Let's Go, which I didn't, fall in love with. But I've been a Pokemon fan for my entire life, and every one of the Pokemon games I for the most part thought got better and better and better, which is not a popular opinion. I'm a Gen 6 and 7 enjoyer, which is really unpopular. But Legends Arceus, I think, is the first time where I feel that Pokemon has outdone itself. Pokemon is known for taking incremental steps, is reaching PS2 level ingenuity in the year 2019. So this game finally reinvents Pokemon enough to where it reaches what, the classic thing of everyone imagined this in their head when they were playing Red and Blue and Gold and Silver and Ruby and Sapphire when they were kids. I think the only problem is that Game Freak, underneath Nintendo and the Pokemon Company and creatures and all this nonsense, they don't give their teams enough time to polish up a game to its best. This should, for the biggest Pokemon game, for the most important Pokemon game in the franchise, frankly, I think it should be up there, should not have this weird, crappy visuals and soft textures, and there's so many weird like pixels around the edges of character models and stuff. It's nasty,
especially in the dark. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, when you're battling in a
white
cave,
pixels all over the outlines.
Exactly. The last time I saw that was Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo, which has this weird aliasing around the edges of like Diddy Kong. But otherwise, this game is the reinvention that the Pokemon formula needs. And as a Pokemon fan who has completed the Pokédex in multiple generations, who can name all the Pokemon on a spreadsheet, which I have done multiple times. I used to train myself on that. I'm so happy that people are finally on my page about Pokemon. As a lifelong Pokemon fan, people just continually shitting on Pokemon more and more. I'm like, damn, guess I'm alone in this. But this game has just changed Twitter and the gaming sphere as a whole. Everyone just saying how much they like it. People who weren't Pokemon fans, lapsed Pokemon fans, current Pokemon fans. It's a kind of a uniting force, and I'm just so happy it's as fresh and as fun as it is, because it really is quite fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think I love it as strongly as you two do, and a lot of other people. A lot of people are calling this the best Pokemon game ever made. I 100% nostalgia driven. I love Gold and Silver better. That will never change.
It's my
it just won't.
In my bottom 3.
Well, that's wrong. Okay. Growing up and like being getting that first like Pokemon Red cartridge and playing it, and then moving on to Silver and Gold, which, like I just said, is my favorite games in the series. Like that time was like just peak. That was perfect Pokemon time. Everyone loved it. It didn't matter who you were, what you did. Like Pokemon was just king. Obviously, it's the biggest media franchise of all time and everything, so it's not like small or anything since then. My biggest problem is that 25 years later, we had not seen any progression, and with Legends, we start to see that. Mm-hmm. You guys mentioned all the performance issues and the way it looks bad. Yeah, 100%. This is an ugly game. Sometimes the frame rate just drops out of nowhere for me as well. It would have been nice, I think, to have this delayed so they could put a little more polish in it.
Holiday 2022, please.
Yeah.
In an alternate reality, I go to Game Freak. I'm like, guys, just give it 8 more months in the oven, for the love of God. This is gonna sell like hotcakes. You literally just put out a Pokemon game 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You will be fine for a year. Let the game boil for a bit.
I can't understand though why they wanted them both to come out so soon, or so soon next to each other, since they're set in the same region, and you can just go in there and be like, oh, that's that person's ancestor. This is where I am right now. That stuff is really cool, having that connection there. My big thing though is, this doesn't feel like that Pokemon world that I imagined as a kid still. I think that when I'm walking around in that open world, I'm like, okay, these Pokemon feel kind of robotic walking around here. Like, I don't feel like they're actually existing in that area. When I go in the Jubilife Village, I know that it's an area they're terrified of Pokemon. They don't want Pokemon there, but like, there's side missions where like they come in and everything, but other than that, it's like, this is just a traditional Pokemon village to me. It's the only one, which is like, I guess, yeah, okay, cool. There's only like one hub that I have to go back to and everything. That's fine, but I just really, Breath of the Wild, when I just think of Breath of the Wild, going out into that world, everything felt so alive. Everything was just like, I was excited to go every single place. I was like, yes, what's around this corner? What's under this rock? When I'm playing this game, I'm like, okay, yep, there's a Pokemon that appeared there. I'll catch it. Turn around, there's another one. I feel like I'm just going through the motions, and that's not a bad thing necessarily. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I do enjoy it, and I'm so glad that it came out. I wanted more. Maybe my expectations are just too high for the series now, but I don't know.
I think the thing is, their expectations should be high for Pokemon. For the biggest media franchise on the planet, for one that is getting semi-yearly installments, they can do better and should do better. The interesting thing is that Pokemon exists in its own sphere, and we're so used to comparing it against itself and comparing it sort of lightly against what's around it. This is the first time where it's a lot closer to what's around it, and where they actually took like 3 or 4 steps forward as opposed to the half steps that we're used to them taking. So as a Pokemon fan, this is a fascinating and very exciting release, because it does represent the first direction of Game Freak trying something new almost ever. I mean, Wild Area and Sword and Shield, no gyms in Gen 7, okay, fine, but that's like minor things. It's a different kind of game.
Yeah.
And that instantly reframes what the franchise can and should be in a way that is very exciting as a longtime Pokemon fan.
Yeah, I will say the single best change I love in this is the way that they changed the Pokédex. It's not just catch that Pokemon and learn everything. Yeah. It's catch multiple Pokemon of this species, see it do this move so many times. You're actually recording everything that's happening with that Pokemon. That is genius. That should have been in there a long time ago, honestly. I love it. But yeah, I like running around and throwing Pokeballs at wild Pokemon. I like that I don't always have to battle everything. That's a nice change as well.
Yeah,
there's a lot of nice stuff here. I'll say that. But yeah,
I think what made me love it most was just how freaking ridiculous the alpha Pokemon are in size compared to everything else. And I laugh so hard whenever someone's like, I'm going to throw my Glaceon out at you. And I'm like, yeah, well, look at this giant fucking horse that's about to stomp on your Glaceon's face. And I literally laugh out loud at how ridiculous they look together. And so I only have a team of alphas because I only go big. That's it.
Big or go home.
Now that I started getting legendary Pokemon, I can't do that because there are no legendary alphas. Question mark?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Mr. Guide McGee over here. Any news on that?
I don't believe there are. So after you do the first alpha encounter, a little bit after that in the story, I was walking around and I was jumping down some cliffs. I was like, oh, there's an alpha Parasect. I'm gonna go up to it, and I didn't. I realized a little too late that once I got up to it, it was level 30, and all my guys were at level 14, level 15. I'm like, oh my god, and I'm not gonna lie, that's the first time I've ever been scared in a Pokemon game, and that was amazing. That kind of stuff is amazing. I love that.
That's what drove me through this. Like,
Yeah.
Honestly, it was alphas. It was alpha after alpha after alpha. And if I found one, I was like, cool, that's what I'm doing for the next 30 minutes. I'm going to sneak up on this little fucker. I'm going to save my game right beforehand, accidentally kill it, or it kills me. And I was just going from alpha Pokemon to alpha Pokemon. And then I'd be like, damn it, that one was level 50, but I only have the star that allows me to have level 30 obey me. So now I need to go research a bunch of shit so that I can use that cool Rapidash that I just got. And then I got that one, and like, fuck, I just got one that was 65, and I gotta do... So, like, that was honestly what was driving me through this game, and it's what made me want to, like, interact with all of these elements. Because, like you, like, eventually I'm sure I will reach a point where just... it feels like going through the motions. Just gotta go catch another thing for some checklist. But right now I'm still in the mode of like it's all driving me towards something else, and I'm excited to do that so that I unlock this so that I can then use this thing I've been wanting to use. So I'm still in that, but I know like there are still a couple areas of the map that I have to finish like exploring now that I have one of the hidden moves, and so once I do that, I'm sure that it will finally be all right. Let's clean up the last 40 things in the Pokédex, and it's going to be really tedious. But for now, it's just been nonstop amazing things that have been driving me forward.
Yeah. All right. So, Pokemon's all right. You can try it if you want.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the general consensus here.
Yeah.
Two
right.
people who have it as best Pokemon game ever, and one who's But
It's okay.
one thing I think is really interesting about all of this, and what I think Chad is saying that is something that's sort of across the board, is the flow state of this game is unlike any other Pokemon game because they have removed all the fucking barriers. They've removed all the loading into a little map. They've removed the ending screen where your Pokemon receive their experience. It is all focused on you interacting with Pokemon, catching them the way you want to, moving your character around in a actually more realistic way that isn't either locked to a grid or locked to certain sorts of areas where, okay, you can only encounter Pokemon in tall grass. You can only encounter them this way. When you run up to one, it's going to do the little animation. There's so much crap that in retrospect, the Pokemon series always had, and we just never realized how obnoxious it was until it was removed. And it's so
You know how obnoxious
freeing.
it is to walk on a trail from city to city and be like, damn it, I know I have to fight 9 trainers who all have just Magikarps and Goldines.
100%.
Just walk through here with my Pikachu and just hit the A button for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it completely removes that.
And it's exciting because as someone who is a long-time Pokemon fan, as I said, I've never thought that the battling was the most interesting part of the game. In fact, I think it's one of the weaker aspects of the game. The combat system is fine. I'm not into competitive, so I don't train for IVs or EVs or anything like that. But now that's not a problem. That you can battle when you want to. If you don't want to battle the alpha Pokemon, fine, that's okay. Like, just go around it, go somewhere else. And the fact is that it makes the battles that you do have a lot more special. It makes them more memorable. It makes, oh shit, I'm finally facing this guy that I've seen the entire story, and this is what his team is like, and I'm battling him in this location. Or each character that has a team is a character. It's not the same sprite that you've seen of a fisherman or a lady or whatever 6 times in this game, sending out the same Pokemon that you've seen 20 times. Each team is special, and that makes every battle more special. And also, this game is much more difficult than the other Pokemon games. Pokemon hit like trucks in this game. A lower level Pokemon than you can 2-hit your team. And it's really interesting and fresh to have this sort of aggressive battle focus that changes up the entire flow of how you're doing combat in the first place. So, flow state, change of combat, removing barriers. I think that's why this game is being so revered, is because it really does take a look at what Pokemon... Take a critical look at what Pokemon has been and say, no, it doesn't have to be this way anymore. And that's very, very fresh.
It's a very Monster Hunter-like approach to the series, which is really genius if you think about it. Like,
Pokemon is the original Monster Hunter.
Essentially, yeah.
It's Pocket Monster Hunter.
Absolutely. All right. That was a good discussion there. Moving on here. As I said before, the Dying Light 2 Stay Human embargo is up. If you are subscribed to us on Pixel Street Videos, you can see mine and Joel's first impressions of the game. We got it 2 weeks early. It releases this Friday, but we can finally talk about it now. Our first impressions video that we put out is from our first 10 hours of the game. We originally thought that video was going to come out a week ago, but there was a translation issue on Techland's side, so we had to hold off on it. I've now beaten the game, and Dying Light 1's better. It's better.
Oh no!
Dying Light 1 is better in almost every single way to this game.
Interesting.
I will say, I did get a PR email today that Dying Light 2 is getting a huge day one patch that is going to fix about 1,000 issues in the game right now. Because there's a lot of glitch. Well, not a ton of glitches, but there's a lot of noticeable glitches. The choices systems that they have been talking so much about, for the most part, this is a Telltale game with those choices. It's very much, hey, are you going to help this guy or are you going to leave him to die?
Sure.
No matter what you do there, he's going to be leaving you and he's going to survive and you'll see him later and everything. Or, okay, I'm going to do this to protect this person. Well, this person's going to die anyway, so it doesn't matter what you did there. The more and more I've written guides on what choices matter and everything, the middle of the game, the choices around that section are great. There's a lot of like, oh, because I helped this guy here, but I took this other guy's side in this mission, I see this guy over here. There's none of that in the beginning or the end of the game. In our first impressions video, I say the game starts incredibly slow, and I stand by that. I think a lot of people will be put off by how much you have to unlock. Like, you can't slide, you can't sprint, you can't do any of that. That's a skill you have to unlock.
Sounds restrictive, yeah.
Yep, it's very restrictive. But once you
play the game, zombie parkour. That's what it is.
But once you begin to unlock those skills, like there's a skill that lets you parkour easier and much quicker around obstacles. It makes the game feel so much smoother. You unlock a paraglider, and there's also a grappling hook that just makes traversal around these giant buildings so much more fun. There's a lot here to like, but I also think they tried to focus too much on this choices system and the dialogue and all this stuff. Like, they said something like there's 15,000 things of dialogue or something in this game. There's so much in there that I don't think that they paid attention to where they were putting it. So, for example, me and Joel, through all of our choices, we've been making different decisions because we want to see what would come out different and everything. He made a decision that he would meet this woman before I did. So when I met her, I got the traditional, hi, this is who I am, this is what we're doing and everything. He talked to her, had that discussion, but when he later got to the point where he originally would have met her, where I did in the game, he got the same exact discussion again. It was word for word the same thing, and that happens multiple times through here. There's also times where dialogue is just in the wrong place completely. So, for example, I was trying to get into this electrical room. So Aiden looks through the vent. He's like, okay, I need to connect that thing. All right. I go through a vent, come in, I drop in. All right, I need to get in there. It was like completely like mixed around. Like it should have been, I need to get in there. Okay, now I get in there. All right, I need to connect that thing. It's hard to like talk about all this without spoiling stuff.
Of course.
So I hope you guys are keeping up with this. Overall, I think Dying Light 2 is a good game. If I were probably scoring it, I'd give it like a 7, though. I checked up on Metacritic, and so far the reviews have been like 79 on PlayStation, or on PC and Xbox, and a 76 on PlayStation. I've been playing on Xbox Series X, and the game looks gorgeous. It plays well for the most part. Don't go into this expecting a good story. The epilogue goes on for way too long, and the choices you make at the end don't matter at all, because once you finish the game, it rewinds time, and you can't go and remake those choices. So it just rewinds time, so whatever you do in the epilogue doesn't matter at all, except for leveling up. So
Sure.
I recommend it if you like Dying Light 1. Don't expect it to be better, though. All right.
That's a franchise I never tried. I heard it was an exciting new release. I mean, it's in that the February of Doom where everything is coming out, and that was one of the big releases. So I'd be interested to try it, as I've sort of been getting more interested in trying a wider variety of games and franchise I've never experienced before. So, but maybe this just means I pick up Dying Light 1 on a sale for $10.
Dying Light 1 is a brilliant game. It is so
Yeah.
good. I love it. The game that they made before Dying Light, Dead Island, I love that game so much. I 100% it. And essentially, Dead Island is Dying Light, but without parkour. That's all it is.
Sure. Yeah.
I love both of those games. Don't play Dead Island Riptide. That game is hot trash. But I love those games, so...
You remember the CG trailer for Dead Island?
Dude, it was
Where
so
everything was
good.
backwards?
Yeah.
What a freaking great trailer.
Oh, so good. One of the best trailers ever, and one of the most, like... what's the word I'm looking for? The most, like, misdirection stuff, because that's not in the game at all. Like, nothing on that scale. But yeah, I recommend giving it a try if you like Dying Light 1, but it's just kind of fine. All right, let's get into some quick news here real quick. MLB The Show 2022 is coming April 5th. Shohei Ohtani is the cover star. I don't know, are either of you guys baseball fans?
Casual baseball fan, I think it's really interesting that this is coming day one to Xbox Game Pass. And
Last year's did as well.
Sony is pushing, last year's did as well, but Sony right now is pushing hardcore emails into my inbox saying, pre-order MLB The Show right now on PlayStation. Like,
Are they?
Before you see the news that it's on Game Pass, please buy it on our system.
Actually, probably the thing I'm most excited for with it is it's also day one on Nintendo Switch, and I really want to see if that version is good.
Probably going to be
We'll
as
see.
good as, if not worse than the Vita versions used to be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It's a portable
to see, 'cause
baseball game. I'm fine with that. Sorry, go
I
ahead,
also
Tucker.
heard that it's cross save or cross buy
Yep.
or something like that.
Not cross buy,
which-
cross save.
Okay, cross save. But regardless, that's very interesting. That, as to my knowledge, is the first cross save game that Sony's ever published. Or
Last
I
year's
guess they
was.
did. Oh, okay, sure. Frankly, I didn't know anything about that game except that it was on Game Pass. So them putting it on Nintendo finally makes me pay attention a little bit.
Mhm.
But fascinating that it's coming to Switch as well. We'll see what it actually is like on a significantly less powerful system. But
Yeah.
cross save is also very cool for
Mhm.
that.
Yep. Ghostwire Tokyo is releasing on March 25th. There's a state of play this Thursday. We are recording this on Wednesday, so sorry, can't talk about it, but I don't know. Are you guys excited for Ghostwire Tokyo? I'm very interested in
Yes
it.
and no.
I don't...
I'm interested in it. I don't know if I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I ever since Akumi Nakamura left, I'm like, it's not going to be as fun. Go ahead, Tucker.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is one that I don't frankly know almost anything about. I've seen the 2 trailers that it's gotten at shows that it's been at, but that's really it. I mean, they haven't talked about the game much outside of that. But the idea that this is the first big, or no, well, I guess it won't be the first big, but it's one of the first big PlayStation 5 exclusives. It's the next game from a Bethesda team. Now they are owned by Microsoft. This game is in a very interesting position, and it kind of has this air of mystery to it because it hasn't been shown off very much. And from the trailers that it has, I mean, it's got an interesting concept, interesting aesthetic. I mean, as long as it's a good game, I'd certainly be willing to give it a try because I think it's filling this interesting niche. So why not?
The big thing with it is it's being headed up by, I hope I get his name right. I believe it's Shinji Mikami.
Is that him?
He's the
That is a real guy. I'm familiar, but
he's the maker of Resident Evil.
yeah. One second, I'm looking up.
Creator. It's Shinji.
Wikipedia. Control F.
What the game is yet?
Yeah,
I've
haven't
The
shown
director
much.
is Kenji Kimura.
Okay,
So
he's not the director.
oh wait, hold on. Shinji Mikami he's a creative director, I believe, or
All right.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Regardless,
Close enough.
it's going to be interesting to see what they have to show on that. Next up, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is reportedly delayed to 2023. Warner Brothers has not officially announced this, but Jason Schreier is saying it, so it's probably true.
And plus, that's not ridiculous.
Gotham Knights the same year anyway.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really expected that to release this year.
Yeah, especially considering what was the last DC game, Justice 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's a while ago.
It will. The PlayStation 5 has already outsold the Wii U. Someday we'll stop comparing the Wii U to everything, but today's not that day. Nintendo is purging their soundtracks from YouTube channels. This really makes me hope that they're finally going to put their own music on Spotify or Apple, whatever. I don't care. I just want to listen to your soundtracks, Nintendo. Just let me. I don't want to.
But you can do that by putting a Nintendo Switch in your pocket and loading Super Smash Brothers and connecting wired headphones to it.
Yeah, that was a funny reveal.
Why would you want it anywhere else when it's that easy?
You're right.
John, I don't know if this was a part of your Oh, my audio thing just freaked out for a second. Oh God.
Oh no.
But I don't know if this is a part of your reading there, but I believe it's confirmed to not be true that they're putting it on other things, because they released something today about a Pokemon soundtrack being on a proprietary website that you can download it or something.
I didn't hear about that.
I didn't really look into it. I just saw people talking about it. But I'm gonna say no. Yeah, you're not getting on Spotify.
Fucking Nintendo. I love them and hate them so much. All right, the FTC will be looking over the Collectibles acquisition. I said it again because Chad said earlier that it broke his brain, so that's all I'm... Collectibles. I have no idea what that means for the acquisition, but I saw something that it might make the process a little slower, a little harder for Microsoft to do or something. I'm not sure.
I've seen sort of two things about this. Is yes, that is true. It probably will. But also I've heard that they do this to all the big deals. So it's not necessarily a bad sign. It just makes sense that they're doing it. But we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know anything about business.
Neither do
all
I.
That, so. All right. Last up on quick news. It Takes Two is getting a movie and a series. I don't understand why they're doing both, but I guess it does take two. So.
I mean that.
Yeah, that's right.
I wonder if it'll take 2 hours to finish the movie.
Yeah.
That
Two
game was
seasons?
long as hell,
It
so
takes
I
two
understand
seasons?
the TV series.
Just imagine if this movie comes out and it wins an Oscar.
As I saw it, it's going to be awkward if that movie gets nominated for an Oscar.
All right. I totally forgot to let you guys know. If you have any collectibles, you can show them off now. I don't have anything. I do have something. This week,
Ran off.
I got Twisted Metal Small Brawl from the PlayStation 1, baby.
I've never heard of that.
Oh.
I've never heard of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys have never... This is Twisted Metal, but RC cars. That's Baby Sweet Tooth right there. That's who's in the new Twisted Metal.
Oh my God, I thought I made that up.
Yeah, no, this is...
Chad predicted the past.
Yeah, he did it.
He's great at that. This is classic bit.
This is...
I'll tell you what happened 25 years ago.
It's Twisted Metal, but with RC cars, and you play in, playgrounds and stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Who made that game? Is it the same developer? Or frankly, I know nothing about Twisted Metal, a series that has entirely escaped me.
Incog Inc.
Okay, so no.
Yeah.
Not
That's
that
probably
anyone
why you've
has.
never heard of it. I love Twisted Metal, and I have been in such a Twisted Metal kick lately that I bought a PlayStation 2 Slim recently, because Sony is not being fast enough with putting these backwards compatible games on PS5. I'm just going to say it.
Right?
Yep. Okay. All right, so let's talk real quick about some games we're playing besides Pokemon Legends Arceus. Chad, what you been
That was
playing?
aggressive.
Basically does that, although also a little touch of Rainbow Six Extraction.
How are you liking that? Because I have not tried it at all.
Loving it. It's a game that I didn't think I would love. I thought the concept was cool, but who knew about the gameplay?
Mm-hmm.
I've only ever played it with two really close friends, so it might suck with strangers or by yourself. But yeah, we're just having a dope time going in there. We tried at first to play it like it was going to be Call of Duty and just running and shooting shit and failed very miserably.
No, it's not that. I know it's not that.
More tactful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a blast, and I'm loving that it's forcing me to change up my operator all the time, because one of them's MIA in the middle of the frickin' infection, or one of them's too hurt to play, so I got to try all these different people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them's really leveled up, this one's kind of leveled up, and then unlocking all sorts of new stuff for him. So we're having a blast playing it.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Included with Game Pass, so why not?
Tucker, what have you been playing?
So I've had an interesting January 2022. I had basically nothing to do for the first month of this year until my school started. I'm in college. So I just grinded through a ton of fucking games. I've beaten 16 games already this year. And
Crap.
yeah, and I beat Horizon Zero Dawn
it's so good.
And Detroit Become Human and The Order 1886 and Sly Cooper and The Last Guardian, and like, so I'm knocking off a lot of stuff. But the game that I want to talk about today is another PS4 exclusive, because I played and beat Knack.
Oh no!
In the year of our Lord 2022. And yeah, it's actually worse than I expected it to be, and I know that's a meme because it's fucking Knack, and Knack's a meme because it's not a good game, and it was pushed as the, end all be all exclusive for PlayStation 4. But this game has such strange design decisions that people just don't talk about. You hear that basic combat, flat story, not great animation. All true. Yeah, all true. But this game has a random loot system, which I did not know about before launching this game, in which you find chests hidden in walls, and the chests have randomized materials in them for crafting upgrades for Knack. Except you can choose which upgrade you get or which piece of loot you get if your friends have played Knack. So for every friend that has played Knack up to this point in the game, you get to choose a different piece from each of their collections. So it's a really weird way to incentivize a lot of people.
Or like a pyramid scheme. Or something.
Christ! Yeah, Knack is certainly a pyramid scheme. Yeah, no, Knack not very good. Also, they say a platformer with de-emphasized jumping, and what that really means is that it's not a platformer and your jump sucks. In order to clear the most basic barrier, you have to double jump, which is really peculiar. Why doesn't your normal jump up like a normal one block cliff? I don't know. Yeah, game's really, really, really bad. I basically just put on headphones and listen to podcasts for 8 hours and grinded through Knack in a day. That was part of my January.
All right. So I have been playing a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. This game recently released. It's a free-to-play Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. It's got cross-progression, cross-play, all of that stuff. And man, let me tell you guys, I haven't been into Yu-Gi-Oh! Since I was 11 or 12, and I can't fucking stop playing this game right now. It is bad. So, as a kid, I always had my dog's trying to jump on me here, so sorry if
don't get his hair in your mouth again.
No, it's bad. Yeah, ugh. I had the most standard deck as a kid. My friends, they would always wipe the floor with me while playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Matches. And I'm finally fucking winning because I can actually go out. I made this toon deck, and it's so much fun. I fuck these kids up. This guy literally, the very first turn of the game, I set down a toon card, and he surrendered. And I was like, yes! Fuck you!
Your reputation precedes
you. I am letting out so much past frustrations with Yu-Gi-Oh! With this game, and I love it so much. I wish I had some friends to play it with, but I know a lot of people aren't into Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. That's fine. But for a free-to-play game that's got crossplay, it's on everything. I think it's even coming to mobile and everything. They do a really good job of letting you earn your cards and stuff. I've earned over 1,000 cards, a ton and a ton of packs. I haven't spent a cent on this game. And so I think they've done a great job with the in-game progression and everything. That's a thing you don't hear too often lately. Look at Halo Infinite. That's the first thing everyone talks about is the in-game progression sucks. Yu-Gi-Oh's is actually really damn good. So if you have any interest in Yu-Gi-Oh, I recommend giving it a try. It does not teach you how to play the game well at all.
That's not great.
All of the new stuff, I have no idea what's going on. I only remember stuff from when I was a kid, and in the 15 years since then, there's been a lot of changes. So
I don't doubt it.
Someone puts down some synchro, pendulum, linking, whatever. I'm like, I have no fucking clue what's going on here. I'm just gonna play
Does it have a blue eyes white dragon? That's basically all I know.
Yeah. Karibo, yeah. But yeah, I recommend it if you're into that stuff. It looks like we have just about enough time to play a quick game, or as
Pokemon
chat.
Arceus?
It's not.
I don't care.
It's not that. So sorry. if this were Respawning Fire, Chad right now would say, "It's time for Game on the Game Show, the game where we play a game on the game show, game. Did I get it right?
You got so close. You got so close.
Please say it. Let me...
It's Game on Game Show, the game on our gaming show where we play a game called Game On, the game show on our game show, game.
Ah, damn it. I'll get it one of these days. All right, we're going to be playing a game that I like to call Steam or Vapor. So what I've done is I went on Steam. It's this gaming service you guys may have heard of. It's a marketplace. It's a little popular on PC. And I've been looking up some video games on there with odd names. Sure. And I want you to tell me if it's...
type in, like, butt to the search bar and you're like...
No, all I did was go to new releases because, oh baby,
Sure.
There's a lot.
Is this where my butt shows up in the podcast?
Yes, it is. All you need to do is tell me if the game is real or Steam, or if it's a fake that I made up, Vapor. Right, so...
How many of your fake ones have butt in it?
None of them, oddly enough.
Butt in all the fake ones.
Retroactively.
Sure all of them have butts.
Can we add butt in all the
you know what?
ones?
I'm just gonna add...
A game about butts?
I'm just gonna add butt into all of them now.
Together and giggle?
I'm just gonna add butt into all of them now.
Yeah, that's a real game.
All right, so let's start off here. Chad, the first one. This game is fake butt.
4 years old. That's it? That's all I got?
Yeah. Is that a real game or is it fake?
The name of this game is called... This game
is fake, yeah.
Oh, that's dirty playing right there.
Is it Steam or is it Vapor?
No, that's straight up Steam. Straight up Steam.
I am very happy to tell you that is Vapor. I made that up. Gotcha. All right, Tucker. I'm on fire, but...
That's fake.
That is a real game.
Damn it. All right, we're 0 for 0.
Yep. 0 for 2.
All right, we're good.
All right, Chad.
2 zeros not it kind of looks like a butt.
Yeah.
Donut Dodo butt.
How is donut spelled? Is it D-O-N-U-T or D-O-U-T?
Yeah, the food donut.
Yeah, but which one?
There are 2 spellings of the food.
What? There's not. There's one. It's D-O-N-U-T. No, there's not.
That's
D-O-U-G-H-N-U-T?
That is the colloquial version.
That is the correct version.
John Hanson, please go Google donut. It's a people call donuts donuts. This is not we're not gaslighting you into thinking donuts
you
are
are.
spelled a different way.
Don't gaslight me on my own show, guys.
I'm sorry, something about donut butts. What's the title again?
Donut Dodo.
Oh, don't do that dodo, butt nut donut is vaporware. That's vapor butts.
That's a real game.
Son of a bitch.
All right, Tucker. Where's Grandma?
I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you that. They told me I wasn't allowed to share that information. I'll have to call my lawyer. Where's Grandma? That's a great question. I've been thinking about that for a long time.
Where is Grandma?
I'm gonna say you're going 3 in a row. That's Vapor.
That is Vapor.
Yes!
That's a good call. Chad, Fidget Spinner Simulator.
I got it. Fidget Spinner, that's 100%. In fact, there are 7 of those. They're all real. Steam.
That's Vapor. I made that up.
Now, there might not be one called that specifically.
I actually looked it up. There's
Spinner Simulator games. Well, there might be an app.
There might be, but there's a few games.
Go to the App Store.
There's like a fighting fidget spinner game. There's
like Beyblades.
I'm not sure. I didn't look that hard into it, but there was like also a platformer. It was weird.
Oh God, there's a lot of fidget spinner apps. Yep.
Tucker.
Spin Revolution. Yep.
It Takes Two Girls.
Oh, gay.
Well, you didn't say butt in there.
It Takes Two Girls butt.
So that's a demerit for you. It Takes Two Girls is real.
That is real. It's a sex game on Steam.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna go buy it right
now. Chad.
That is an all-female reboot of It Takes Two.
Yeah. Living Dark.
Living Dark. Vapor. It's Vapor.
That's Vapor. That was just me looking at
Yes!
Dying Light and saying, "Oh, Living Dark."
Oh God.
Right, Tucker. Mike goes on hike.
Oh, I'm sure he does. That's fake.
That's real.
Oh,
It's not, and it's I checked to make sure it's not called Mike goes on a hike or the hike. It's Mike goes on hike.
Sure. Why not?
All right, last one here, Chad. I human machine.
Now we've had a lot of experience with homophones, so I need you to spell this one.
What?
Is it EYE? Is it I?
Oh.
What is that? Is it like iRobot or is it like?
I, the letter I.
I, like I, you know, I.
Like I.
Like
yeah.
I. Like, yeah,
I,
like
I, you know? I
human what? I what human?
I
Robot?
human machine.
Machine?
I human machine.
I, robot?
I robot.
Yeah.
Robot.
We're getting the cleverness is directly correlated to length of podcast.
It's just been flatlining.
Steamy.
That is real, yes. All right.
Yeah, suck it.
You guys, let's see.
I don't think we did that good.
2, 3 out of 9.
All right.
I'd like to confirm that Mike Goes on Hike is not only called that, you're correct, but only Mike is capitalized. Like, the title of this game is in all lowercase, except for the first M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you do. Like
Become
that's
a real
just
tourist
that's
in
just
Mike Goes on Hike. Amazing wild landscapes, inexpressible atmosphere of hiking, and important vital lessons are waiting for you. Go all the way to the end to fulfill the request of your beloved grandfather.
Oh, maybe that's where Grandma is. All right. Thank you for playing Steam Our Vapor Boys. And that will do it for Pixel Street Podcast episode 176. Thank you so much for watching and listening. You look great today. I would like to thank my guests on here. We got Chad. Chad, where can people find you?
I'm going to forfeit my thing and say, B-Rent has an album dropping on February 25th. Go follow him at brent_music.
For sure.
Be dope.
Yeah, no, actually, definitely do that. Brent Gillihan, he's been on the podcast before. This is his first CD, right?
Well, it's technically an EP, although he's had 4 singles drop already.
All right.
But, yeah.
Regardless, check it out. But no, really, Chad, where can they find you?
Oh, Respawning Fire.
Respawning
Fire
Just
in San Jose, California, if you're looking.
If you're and this is my address if you're looking for me.
I'll meet you at the Taco Bell on Stevens Creek Boulevard.
Oh, damn, I'm down. I'm always down for some Taco Bell.
Don't fight me with a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Tucker.
Tucker can be found on YouTube at Backlog Banter. We do a lot of videos, maybe too much for our own good, but lots of video game stuff. We're reviewing Marvel movies. We review old movies in the form of our Best Picture show, The Quest for the Bestest. We do a weekly video game discussion podcast where we just talk about what we've been playing and somehow it comes to an hour and a half every single week, called specifically Backlog Banter. We've got a bunch of stuff in the works, and we'd love to have you because we are 4 subscribers away from 700.
Hold, please.
Oh.
Hold, please.
Holding.
Yeah.
Backlog Banter about to be 3 subscribers away from 700.
You are at 700 subscribers.
Wait, holy shit. Are you kidding?
Yep.
Is that breaking news?
All of our podcasts.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Oh, you've got 4 YouTube channels, Chad?
Yep.
Oh shit.
I'm not gonna say maybe 7 of them are me, but maybe 7 of them are me.
All right. Be sure to check them out. Also, be sure to check out B-Rent's music. As for me, I am John Hansen. You can find me on Twitter at RevicShadows. You can also find my writing on GamePer.com. Lots of guides about Pokemon Legends. Arceus went up. A lot of guides about Dying Light 2 are about to go up. Mostly focused on the decisions in the game. So if you want to know what happens a little early, go ahead and check it out. You know, I got the goods over there. You know, you don't tell anyone, but they're over there. Thanks so much for watching and listening, guys. Please, like, rate, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I would love you so much. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye!
I would love you so much.
I would.
I would, but you're not subscribed to me,
I don't
so
yet.
you can die.
Ah.
Yes.